A firework bomb explosion in a central Arkansas neighborhood has families and the police department calling out the two people accused of setting it off. Good evening, I'm Kevin Kelly. Donna has the evening off. Fox 16's Josh Berry has more on the explosion and the initial responses from neighbors. He joins us live. Josh.
Yeah, Kevin, and the neighbors weren't the only ones responding to what they called a bomb going off in their neighborhood. The Bryant police chief actually nominated the two men accused of making and setting it off for a pretty unique award coming from law enforcement.
Rattled the house. It blew the pictures off the walls.
This big, huge boom.
People in the Bryant neighborhood say an explosion Thursday night shook the streets where they live.
We saw this big, huge flash. You heard it echo. I mean, it just echoed and echoed.
Pieces of what neighbors say was a bomb were still scattered through the driveways and yards a day later.
Scared everybody half to death. Scared my fiance half to death. She screamed, top of her lungs.
It was large enough that we got a lot of 911 calls on it.
Tracy Gay, a detective with the Bryant Police Department, confirms the blast.
Very large explosion.
Police collected what was left of the bomb, having responded to this home where remnants of fireworks still litter the driveway and porch, where police say they found Curtis Lawrence and Joshua Brooks, the two men accused of setting off what witnesses say were 650 fireworks sparklers wrapped in several rolls of electrical tape with black gunpowder.
Being drunk and just trying to be stupid.
And that's what the Bryant police chief took to Facebook, saying in his nightly news alert he awarded the two the Stupid Award for the week, and families back in the neighborhood agree.
Everybody's pretty upset. Everybody's irritated.
I mean, it was in the field behind my house. I mean, if it was any closer to us, it could have, injured my house, my family. We were all inside.
And now the neighborhood is calling them out as well.
I told them they was unsafe and we didn't need this kind of people in our neighborhood.
And now the two guys actually face charges of criminal use of a prohibited weapon, resisting arrest, and public intoxication. Now, when police arrived, one of the suspects actually first denied having any involvement with this, and then he actually became belligerent towards some of the officers. He ended up having to be tased. Officers then found the other guy inside. Back to you.
I tell you what, just from hearing the description of the explosion that these neighbors heard, yeah, I mean, it would rattle a lot of people's nerves and raise a lot of concern. Were the individuals arrested, though? Were they taken into custody?
They were first put in the back of the cop car. Now, according to some of the witnesses that were actually there, they say they had been drinking all day long, and that they had actually told the neighbors, they gave them a warning, said, hey, we have this huge set of fireworks that we're about to set off. And now there are families and kids around there, and they all saw this going on, and of course it definitely shook them. But yes, they did get put in handcuffs and put in the back of the cop cars.
And I tell you what, I salute the Bryant police chief for coming up with the Stupid Award for the week. Very interesting. I'm sure he's getting some support from the neighbors, at least in this particular case.
Definitely.
All right, thank you. An 11-year-old boy struck by a car last week is doing fine, but he wants the driver to confess to police. The hit and run happened at the intersection of Fair Park and 12th Street. Jaylon says he waited until it was safe to go across the street, but as he crossed, he says a car zigzagged through traffic and hit him. He landed in a parking lot.
They don't pay attention. You never know who's going to walk across the street and stuff.
I do want the police to catch him a little, but why did he take off?
Good question. Jaylon hopes the driver's conscience will force a confession so he can get an answer. If you have any information on this hit and run, be sure to call Little Rock Police.
Now, weather to plan your day with Fox 16 meteorologist Natalie Walters.
Well, I hope you all have been enjoying your 4th of July holiday. Today, a little bit on the warmer side. If you stepped outside, you probably noticed temperatures slightly warmer than they were yesterday. Humidity still on the lower side, but we're at 90. That was your high temperature. Clinton, 89, Mountain Home, 93 here in Little Rock. So temperatures just slightly above the normal for this time of the year. 92 is that average high. Now, as far as what's going on with our temperatures right now, it's cooled down slightly. 76 Mountain Home, 80 Little Rock, certainly warmer than we were last night at this time. 77 in Searcy, 75 in Stuttgart. I know some people still celebrating throughout the entire weekend, so this weather shouldn't be too bad. Most of our areas remain dry for today as well. You can see as what's going on our pinpoint radar, some showers mainly east of the Arkansas River or the Mississippi River, now moving their way eastward as well, are going to stay that direction. We haven't really seen much in the way of activity. A little bit of pop-up showers and thunderstorms made its way through parts of the area, but most of us remain dry, and it looks like we're going to remain that way throughout the rest of the evening. Don't have much in the way of energy for us to support any of that activity. There we could see this boundary off to the east of us. did cause some of those showers and storms. Actually, a little bit of an outflow boundary moved its way through our region. Maybe saw some clouds with that. Also, a few thunderstorms again for parts of eastern Arkansas today. Future forecast showing things pretty quiet for us. Will remain quiet overnight, but for tomorrow afternoon, again, we're expecting some isolated showers and thunderstorms, typical for this time of the year with those daytime heating showers and storms. Again, quiet for your Sunday. Then again, your Sunday afternoon, we'll look at some of those showers and storms. But we are looking at temperatures really heating up across the area. Have more details on that coming up in just a bit. Kevin?
A Benton church goes up in flames. It happened Thursday morning at around 10 o'clock on East and Johnson Streets. The blaze caused damage to the church's front interior and upstairs. You can see some of the damage right there. Investigators determined the fire was actually started by electrical wiring. In your Fox 16 crime alert, Little Rock police are looking for the man who they say stole a city truck and crashed it. It happened this morning near Deer Meadow Drive and Chico Road in southwest Little Rock. Police say the man jumped out of the truck after driving it through a fence during a police chase. If you know anything about this incident, call Little Rock Police. A woman tells police she was ordered out of her car by 4 men with guns. It happened at around 4 o'clock this morning on Stanton Road and Larry Circle. The victim says the 4 men showed their guns and told her to get out of the car. When she did, she says they hopped in the vehicle and then took off. Police are still trying to locate the car and the suspects. Little Rock police searching for 2 men tonight accused of attacking and robbing a homeless man. Fox 16's Suzanne Bruner joining us now with more on how this attack unfolded. Suzanne?
Well, police told us the homeless man was near the Salvation Army on Cross Street in Little Rock this morning when 2 men confronted him, sprayed him in the eyes with pepper spray, and stole his money. Police said the men stole $147 before hopping into a car and driving off. The victim was able to make his way to the police department, walk over there where he reported the crime. I talked to Derek Jones with the Union Rescue Mission, and he calls this an unfortunate event and hopes police catch whoever did this. He also explains what homeless men and women can do to stay safe.
If they're in any shelter, they're in a safer environment with people watching to make sure that their needs are taken care of. It's a lot safer than wandering around somewhere on the streets late at night, in the dark.
The Union Rescue Mission has men's emergency shelter available. It's a brand new facility equipped with 60 beds, and officials say there are several spots still available. Police still searching for the suspects tonight. They don't have a good description of the 2 or the vehicle they took off in.
But you do have to wonder, as you mentioned in your report, the homeless man had $147 on him. So it makes you wonder, did these 2 suspects know that this guy had that much money on him?
Yeah, that's a good question. Police are actually still investigating that. But I can say that shelter officials that I spoke with today really feel for this man, that $147 is probably all he had. And that they also note that a majority of the men and women who are homeless probably have mental health a disability. So, the fact that some people might take advantage of this is just really disheartening.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, as you mentioned. All right, thanks, Suzanne. A man arrested in connection to the murder of a Pine Bluff grandmother will go before a Texas judge. Samuel Kimpsons was arrested yesterday in Irving, Texas. We're told he will not fight extradition to Arkansas. 54-year-old Carol Baker was shot and killed back in May as she was picking up her grandchildren from Lakeview Apartments. Investigators say a group of men entered the complex in search of someone else. When they came up empty-handed, police say the group opened fire, killing Baker. 3 other suspects have already been charged with capital murder. In your Fox 16 health alert, agriculture officials plan to take a second look at a Scott County farm where they found a chicken infected with the avian flu. They'll do another round of testing next week at the farm in Boyles. Chickens can get the virus from infected waterfowl or contaminated water. Officials also saying it's possible the flooding waters from last month's severe storms in Scott County may have infected the chicken. We're told the first round of testing from the farm came back negative for avian flu. The owners of Overland Bicycle Tour canceled the remainder of the American Challenge program. This after 7 of their cyclists were hit by a car in Woodruff County. The accident happened Tuesday along Highway 7 near McCrory. 13 bicyclists were riding from South Carolina to California when the car, 21-year-old Tegan Martin of Newport was driving, hit them from behind. 18-year-old Lee Levitan from Milton, Massachusetts, died from her injuries yesterday. This is according to state police. At least 4 others remain hospitalized.
And their condition ranges from from just about to be released to critical. We need the community to extend their thoughts and prayers to all of our injured and then their families as well.
State Police is still investigating the accident. Once the report is complete, it will be turned over to the Woodruff County prosecutor, possibly as early as next week. As of today, no charges have been filed against the driver. A retired Arkansas soldier is posthumously honored for his contributions to our country. Family members of retired First Sergeant George Tribble accepted 5 medals this morning presented by Senator John Bozeman's office. Tribble joined the Army at 16 and served during World War II. After retirement, he served roles at Camp Robinson and the Pine Bluff Arsenal. His daughter says the ceremony reminded her of the great sacrifice her dad endured for all of our freedom.
He was over there and he was being bombed day and night. And we didn't know about it. And here we were going roller skating and going to school. And
the youngest grandchildren, by the way, will each get a medal for a keepsake. The Jacksonville Military Museum showing off the new Titan II exhibit. Now, the Titan II missile program was a Cold War weapon system featuring 54 launch complexes. 18 were in Arkansas. 2 of the most noteworthy disasters that occurred in the Titan II program took place here in Arkansas back in 1965 and 1980. Also on display right now is the United States Army simulator.
We have a simulator for an Apache, an AH-64 attack helicopter. There is a simulator for a Predator drone. There's also a simulator for an EOD robotic arm, one for a tank, and also one for a M4 rifle.
Gotta like that. The museum is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and from 10 to 5 on Saturday. So if you're looking for something to do, be sure to check it out. Coming up on Fox 16 News at 9. Sparklers and rockets launched in celebration, causing several fires in Arkansas. Why firefighters say they had their hands tied yesterday.
You're watching Fox 16 News at 9 with Donna Terrell, Kevin Kelly, sports with Wes Moore, and Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin. This is Fox 16 News at 9.